This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our Business Town Hall on Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. It's our final Business Town Hall of the year. We're excited to wrap it up. I'm sure you have many things on your agendas this month looking at the holidays. And so we will get right to it. We have a good agenda today. We'll start off with an economic development update. I'll hand it off to Maria Teresa Nagel, who is with us from the Summer Viva office, to share about the initiatives that they're offering out of their department and how businesses can get involved, and ways that they're supporting our business community here in Somerville. And then we'll also, from there, Maria will pass it off to Victor Nascimento, who is in our planning department, who will share with us some of the updates from planning and ways that businesses can get involved with some of the planning processes and neighborhood plans that are coming out of the planning office. Today I'm joined, my name is Nick Schoenberger. I'm an economic development planner here for the city. I'm joined here by two other of my staff members, or my teammates, I should say, William Blackmer, who's our workforce development coordinator, as well as Rachel Nad-Carney, who's a senior planner here for the city of Somerville. After all is said and done, we'll open it up for Q&A. We are a small group, and so feel free to unmute yourself. If you have a question, you can also utilize the chat function. Like I mentioned, we are recording this, and so afterwards there is an opportunity to share out this link. You can check us out on YouTube at Somerville Economic Development is our YouTube page, and this video will be posted there by next week. All right, and without further ado, I'll get right into it. A few things just coming out of the general economic development world that I think recognizes the challenges that businesses are having, that we're hearing about, at least, for hiring and staffing shortages throughout the industries, primarily hospitality. But I think it's ranges through a variety of industries. Bunker Hill Community College, we printed this in one of our newsletters, I think last month, offers a business apprenticeship program for a variety of industries that folks can get connected with to bring in a student that Bunker Hill will pay either part-time, or I'm sorry, will pay either half of their fee, or in some cases the entire amount. And they work with a variety of students, I think aligned with the majors and programs that they offer at Bunker Hill. And they're actively looking for employer partners. So if you know any business or think that this would be useful for a business that you're in contact with, or for your business in particular, you can always contact Bunker Hill Community College. We listed the email there. And I think, William, I saw you, excuse me, posted the link for folks to learn more about the program and the department. So thanks for doing that. The second one here I have is, as an alumni of Northeastern, it is a program that I know and have experienced. It's their Northeastern's co-op program, and they have, again, opportunities to connect with current students, both undergraduate and graduate, with connecting with a variety of different colleges at Northeastern to provide paid internships or full-time employment. They've actually expanded what they're offering and what they're able to offer since the pandemic, to offer remote work possibilities. And so I've included here on the link about how to best connect with them. Again, depending on which college you think you would find your best candidate, you could contact their co-op director in their respective department to get more. Wanted to throw in two other events that are happening in Somerville, and then one particularly for kind of thinking about the future, but Illuminations Tour. If anyone has ever gone on an Illuminations Tour, it's a very fun trip on our trolleys throughout the city to see the wacky and whimsical light displays that many of our neighbors and also our businesses are putting up to celebrate the holiday cheer. This year, because of for safety concerns and related to COVID, it is going to be a self-guided tour, and it will be a month-long celebration. So if you are interested in getting listed on that map, you can sign up on the form here. Again, William, thanks for posting that in the chat. I want to share also that on December 18th, there will be a guided bike tour throughout the city that will end in Ball Square. And so if there are folks that want to get listed, that would also be another opportunity to be seen. I guess a quick show of, or I'll just throw it out to the group. Anyone in this meeting today planning to participate in our in Illuminations, or do they have light displays already set up? Okay, well, not yet. That's what I'm hearing. Not yet. So the next, the other event, and hi, Margaret, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. The next event, this is a free event with SCORE. As the 2021 is winding down and folks are starting to think about 2022, this is a great opportunity to work with an industry expert on, what does your branding look like in 2022? This is one example of a variety of classes that SCORE is offering that, is certainly worth checking out, but I just thought it was relevant coming out of our planning department and just thinking ahead to the future. I recognize that many businesses probably have a million other things on their mind right now, but it never hurts to start thinking about what's happening in January. So we listed that here. Okay, and with that, let me pass this off to Rachel Nat-Carney, who can share a little bit about some of the revitalization projects happening in Somerville and working through our department.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Rachel Nat-Carney. I am Senior Planner in Economic Development working on our urban revitalization projects, and we have two that are ongoing right now. One is the Winter Hill, there are more, but these are the two that we wanted to highlight today. The Winter Hill Urban Renewal Plan, that is the redevelopment of the Star Market and a couple of neighboring properties up on Broadway. This is that Star Market that's been empty for quite some time. We are moving things along there, and simultaneously to our efforts, there is a development proposal already working its way through the tracks. So one of the first step that we're really taking on is putting together a civic advisory committee, and that is to advise on sort of the neighborhood, what is the word on the street in the neighborhood. So that's from our business community and also from our residents up in Winter Hill. Just down the hill from Winter Hill, we have the same process moving forward with Gilman Square. This one is a little bit one step behind, so we are actually still taking applications. We just opened applications this week, and we are looking for businesses and residents in the Gilman Square area to, again, participate in one of these civic advisory committees. The role of these groups is really to tell us what they're hearing from their neighbors and their friends, so that we can gather, the diversity of perspectives on these projects. In Gilman Square, we're looking at the site that's currently being utilized by the Green Line Extension construction area. The city actually owns that parcel, and we're looking at what its future looks like. So thank you, Nick. I'll turn it back to you.
Great, thank you. Question for you, Rachel. If there is a business that maybe doesn't necessarily want to be on the advisory committee, but still wants to provide input or share their perspective, what would be the best way to do that?
Great question. So these advisory committees are going to have public comment at each of their meetings. Those meetings we're expecting to start in January. And then they're also going to be helping us organize larger community events. So there will be a few sort of bigger discussions where we talk about, what other uses do we need in each of these neighborhoods? What types of businesses really fill out that neighborhood profile?
Awesome, very good. So it sounds like more to come in January.
Exactly.
Great. Awesome. Well, that's our economic development update. I'm going to hand it off now to Maria Teresa Nagel, who heads up the Summer Viva Office of Immigrant Affairs Department, to share a little bit about what you're doing in your department. Take it away, Maria.
Definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me and welcoming me here. We can go ahead and move on to the next slide. So for those of you who may not be too familiar with what Summer Viva does, I've highlighted here the three main areas of work where we've focused since our founding over 9 years ago now. And it's important to say that when Summer Viva was founded, the whole idea behind creating this department was to ensure that language and culture would not be barriers to accessing the city, its services, its programming, and also to engaging with the city and making your voices heard as business owners, as residents, and as part of Somerville. So the way we've gone about that is we have our language access and community engagement work, which, as I said, ensures that language and culture are not barriers to service and civic engagement, but that there's also a celebratory component, and that is we are so diverse here in Somerville that we want to celebrate that diversity. We want to celebrate the richness of the culture. So part of what we do is also that through festivals and through different programming and activities. We also have a direct services and referrals arm, and this is perhaps one of the areas that is of most importance to business owners because we provide case management support to residents and business owners. And what this looks like on a regular basis is we will go out into the community, we will reach out to residents and business owners and meet people where they are, figure out what challenges they may be facing and how we can best assist in navigating those challenges or referring out to one of our many phenomenal departments, such as economic development, to see how we can best support the well-being and growth in the community. And we not only refer to other departments, but we also refer to external agencies. So whether that be community partners and nonprofit organizations here in Somerville, outside of Somerville, and even at the state level when that is needed. But we do this through warm handoffs. We want to accompany those who come to Summer Viva through the entire process. So if someone reaches out to us because we've built a relationship with them or because there are language or cultural barriers, we want to ensure that wherever we're referring them, they are getting the attention that they need and that they're not going to be facing further barriers because of language and culture throughout. And lastly, our Immigrant Affairs arm supports residents and business owners with immigration needs. So a lot of this has to do with legal services and referring to different vendors that we've established to provide legal support. And also, we want to keep abreast of the different policy changes on the immigration front and to inform the community how these policy changes and different interpretations of existing policy could affect their residency, could affect their business, and their overall well-being and feeling of being welcomed in Somerville. So we can move on to the next one. And now in terms of more specific core areas for business owners, one of the big things we're focusing on right now is ARPA, so the American Rescue Plan Act, and engaging business owners in the process of where these funds are going to be put, what key priorities, what are the initiatives that either business owners or residents have or the needs that they've identified in their community so that we can ensure that these needs are taken into account when ARPA funding is being dispersed, but also wherever there are opportunities to access specific funding for different programming and initiatives, we want to help business owners be able to access that. So for all of our immigrant business owners, those who have limited English proficiency, that is what we're here to do. We're here to support all of you. And similarly with development projects, as Rachel was mentioning, there's a lot of different development projects going on, and they can cause a lot of anxiety because change can be scary. So we are here to help provide the information about these development projects, how they will benefit, and also to provide the feedback back to our city colleagues on what the concerns are and how we may be able to ameliorate those concerns or get ahead of any challenge that a business owner or resident could face because of the development project. We provide application guidance, so that is application in its broadest term. Wherever there is a need to fill out an application, as we know, applications can be very bureaucratic and very daunting, regardless of whether you are US citizen, born and raised and speak English beautifully, it can be a lot. And so we want to ensure that our residents and business owners have that guidance, and we will either help them fill out the application or refer them to the department and even accompany them through the application process as needed. And lastly, just navigating all of the city resources. One of the beautiful things about Somerville is it constantly has new resources, new tools, new opportunities for our residents and our business owners. So we want to ensure that all of that information and all of those great opportunities are reaching our community far and wide. And we want to help all of you be able to navigate this. So if we can move on to the next slide. This is our team, and as I said, we're here to speak in everyone's language and provide you with the engagement that you deserve so that you can be a true part of Somerville. So reach out to us in the language that you're comfortable with, and we will be sure to provide you with assistance.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria Teresa. That was great. Yeah, so guys, I will open it up for any questions. Any questions for Maria Teresa or about Summer Viva? You know, has anyone here worked with Summer Viva in the past? Well, I'll speak from my experience at least before anyone else jumps on. But you know, throughout the pandemic, we were very much coordinating closely with members of your team to get the word out for business town halls just like this in multiple languages. So we really appreciate the support that you guys are able to offer to all of our businesses here in Somerville. And I hope that at this opportunity you can continue to share, and we can continue to let businesses know that your resources are available to them. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nick.
Great. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. I think we're making great time here, which means that we'll all be able to stay another 30 minutes after to chat. And at this point, I'm gonna hand it off to Victor to share a little bit about what's happening in the planning department. Victor, take it away.
Thanks, Nick, and thanks everybody for listening. So right now, the two biggest projects we're working on with planning as far as big picture, long range planning is the Assembly Square neighborhood plan update and the Brick Bottom neighborhood plan update. There is a lot to each one of those plans. Of course, they are fairly comprehensive. So I'll talk just a little bit about the more business focused side of it, and then point you in the right direction to where you can learn more. So if you see that screenshot there, that's from a platform we have called Summer Voice. Some of you may have utilized it or perhaps not, but it's a new platform we built where we keep track of all ongoing projects, major ongoing projects around the city that a number of divisions within the Office of Planning and Development now utilize. So if you go to summervoice.com, you can then find this page as well as other pages. So as far as Assembly Square, I would say that the two major changes and reorientations in the update plan is a focus on creating a central space in Assembly Square that feels more urban. So right now, as for those of you who've been to Assembly, there's that whole part. There's a whole section with some large scale department stores and a lot of surface parking. And so one of the goals is to convert that area into smaller blocks, smaller buildings, more urban landscape. And that's also going to enable some more medium and small size businesses to find places there. There's also the creation of Assembly Point, which is a little bit of a different feel. So that's all the way to the southeast of Union Square. And right now there's kind of a bunch of different older buildings there, a few small businesses. But the idea is to really create a different character in that section of Assembly Square that will be called Assembly Point, that will be more focused on kind of being a micro district for arts, crafts, maker spaces. That's going to have a very different feel than the rest of Assembly Square. The other thought too that the plan discusses quite a bit is thinking now that there are some major businesses in Assembly Square that serve as anchors, like Partners Health and the Puma headquarters. What are some supply chain businesses that would provide services to those larger companies that we could attract to Assembly to diversify the local economy there and create different kinds of jobs while still sort of fitting into that existing cluster there. That's just a few points to touch on. There's a lot more to it. The plan is about 130 pages long, but it's very much worth to read. It's very interesting stuff, and it ties in a lot to the history of Somerville's broader economic development and building our tax base. So I highly recommend going to the Summer Voice page and checking out the draft and submitting comments. We're accepting public comments until January 21st of next year. And then we'll have a process of integrating those comments into that document and then circling it back out to the community before it goes and gets voted on. You can go to the next slide, Nick. The Brick Bottom Vision Plan, you can see there the outline of what the Brick Bottom area is. I always like to start with that because folks, it's not a neighborhood that currently exists. And so folks can be confused. What do you mean by Brick Bottom? Right, the name of the neighborhood is really based on the Brick Bottom Artist Lofts, which is at the south there. And that kind of ties into the theme a lot of what we're trying to do in that area. We're really trying to create a arts district, which is something Somerville doesn't currently have. It has some dispersed art and creative businesses, but not a sort of destination that really focuses on that. There are some challenges with that. There's a lot of pressure right now to build more lab space and biotech related businesses. And there's going to be a little bit of that too, but we are trying to move a little bit against the grain and figure out what are some creative strategies for us to really create an art destination. Art Farm, which is a city open space project, kind of helps with that. And there is also a major art studio in the area already called Joy Street Studios that we really want to preserve. And then beyond that, it's really going to be about encouraging creating spaces for small scale light manufacturing maker spaces. And we're also thinking about where some food related artisanal type of manufacturing that we can bring to the area that can have both a retail element and a manufacturing element. So we have a few different ideas in that front, but the plan is still in process. We are going to have a draft that we will be ready to share with the community at large within the next month. There is a mailing list link on that Brick Bottom page. And so if you are interested in reading that plan, providing us feedback on that plan, I highly encourage you to sign up for that mailing list. That way, as soon as I have that draft in my hands, you will get an email about it and you can let us know what you think. You can go to the next slide, Nick. Oh, I'm back. So that's just, if you want to write down the direct links to those two projects, or you can also just go to voice.somervillema.gov and you will see all the projects. And that's my email address. Feel free to take a note of it. And I am happy to engage in any particular conversations or questions about the sort of more small scale aspects of those plans that I didn't drill down to in the sort of more broad review that I'm talking about today. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks, Victor. So I guess the summary, yeah, right now Assembly Square neighborhood plan draft is out, seeking comments until January 21st. So please share your insights on what the future of Assembly Square should look like from your perspective. And then brick bottom, you know, if you want to be one of the first to know about what the draft plan looks like, reach out to Victor, sign up on Summer Voice on the brick bottom page. Great, I think that's what we have. There was already a spoiler alert when I went to the next page, but I want to invite Margaret, if you're to hear from you about what's happening at the Office of Small or Business Development at the state level.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nick. I just wanted to check in, as I try to do each month, with the Somerville's small businesses. This, I just sent over to your office. Actually, my colleague Sue had sent the email today, a new travel and tourism related grant that Somerville would be eligible for. And I'm surprised Jessica in the Main Streets group, but whether it's the community, whether it's one of your nonprofit groups today, oh, we have a representative.
We do. We have Michael here today representing Union Square Main Street, and actually Zach Baum, the president of the organization as well.
Oh, great. So, you'd be a great candidate for that program. I can send the information over to you guys as well. Some of it's kind of travel and tourism related funding. Eligible projects are marketing, content and asset development, visitor and consumer outreach, digital advertising, paid social media, broadcast radio, posters, banners, signage, billboards, photography, videography, language translation for marketing materials, and relative cultural and multicultural tourism. So Somerville checks a lot of those buckets. I know particularly, I see, yeah, Michael, I got your email. I will send that right over to you guys. So that's one of our new programs I always try as things roll out. I always want to put a reminder in. Workforce development is such an important topic, something that there's a lot of funding around right now, and we're hearing from a lot of companies, you know, if we're hiring or struggling to hire or needing to train up and upskill our employees. Commonwealth Corporation's one of our agencies that manages the Workforce Training Fund program. Right now, the Express grant is up to $30,000. That pays 100% of the training costs, and then the employer would pay, you know, the salary and benefits for the employee attending the training. So, in your backyard is Bunker Hill Community College. Each community college across the Commonwealth has a corporate education department. They can help you write these grants. They can oftentimes be the trainer for these grants. So, you know, whether it's, you know, leadership training, sales training, marketing training, human resources was a real popular one with COVID. So many times it's like this, you know, collateral duty, whoever's doing, you know, payroll gets thrown to be HR in these small businesses. Well, maybe it makes sense to use the state's training dollars to certify somebody in HR, say through a community college. But there's a lot of customization you can do in these grants. The Express grant is a real entry-level way to access that program. There's larger grants, basically up to $250,000 for the general program grant, and that would be spent over 2 years. And you know, you don't have to go up to the high end. It can be anything from the low end on up. That's the ceiling. And we really encourage you to take advantage of this funding, invest in your employees. You know, that's definitely the area that Massachusetts leads is our workforce and our talent. And part of it is that we have these funds that are used to invest in upskilling our employees. So I encourage you to take that. I'll put the link in the chat for the Workforce Training Fund. I know Sue and I are often talking about that. I'm happy to have offline conversations with any of you about how your business can leverage these resources. So we're also working on releasing funding for new hires, right? So the Workforce Training Fund is on incumbent current employees, skilling those up, but this Renew Fund is something employers can take advantage of to bring on new hires and get them trained with the skills you need. So happy as always to talk about that and answer any questions.
Thanks, Margaret. That's great. Yeah, I saw the travel grant that got released earlier today, so that's exciting. And could you share for, you know, successful applicants, would it be, are private businesses eligible to apply for this?
Nope, nonprofit businesses. So for example, let's say like a Union Square Main Streets wanted to do something, or one of your Main Streets organizations, then it would benefit the businesses in that area. right? So you could do some collateral marketing, but the nonprofit would be the recipient of the grants. The municipality could be the recipient of the grants. Whatever, you know, the strength of the application is based upon partnerships. So if it was something that, you know, Somerville wanted to put in for and then have various nonprofit partners that, you know, as projects, you know, sub-projects of that, that could be found, you know, to be a competitive application as well. There's a webinar coming up on it. I think it's December 15th. Here, I'll put in the chat the link to this is the, I'm first putting in the Travel and Tourism Recovery Grant Program, and then I'll put in the Workforce Training Fund. But there is a webinar coming up. Kiko Orell, she is the Executive Director of Mass Office of Travel and Tourism. And in your area, the Greater Boston Convention Visitors Bureaus, the Regional Tourism Council that covers you, you know, they could be putting in an application. You could work with them on that as well.
Great. You are always a wealth of knowledge. So we appreciate that. And I think we'll have to probably do some thinking and invite our nonprofit partners to maybe have a conversation to see what makes sense out of, you know, if it's something that we do out of our department or work closely with our partners. So thank you. And yeah, I will have to get more of the information. Thank you for sharing that in the chat. But the Biz and Hire program, I know we spoke about that briefly at our last meeting, but I think we ran out of time a little bit last month. So thanks for coming back and joining us and sharing that again today.
Sure.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop sharing here. We're gonna go to just to get to see each other's faces. You know, I wanted to open it up one last call to see if there are any questions. You know, our presenters today were very gracious to stay on and share some great information about what's happening in the various departments that we all are working for. So I will open it up to hear if there are any questions.
Hi, Nick. Thanks. I don't have a question, but I do have a comment on an event that was maybe a little overseen that I'd like to kind of let everyone know. This month, next week, actually, USMS is, let me just paste it here. We're having our annual holiday stroll. So we'd love for everyone to participate and join on a 3-day celebration of Union Square sparkle discovery and holiday delight on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's a tradition that we have for 7 years in a row now, and all the small businesses in our area are taking part. We hope that you as well can come and patronize these wonderful businesses and enter to win one of 3 cash prizes up to $1,000. You can win that when you can win that by helping judge the storefront decorating contest. So you're going to see Union Square businesses decorate these beautiful storefronts. There's going to be the Conquer the Keep Small Strongs challenge when you enjoy unique eats and the awesome retail. And then there's the Festivus Trail, and we encourage you to take Elfie selfies with all the inflatables. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's exciting. It's going to be all weekend long. Is that right?
That's right. It's going to be from Thursday to Saturday. So the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Good. Yeah, we'll have to get down there. And yeah, so of course, shop local this season. That's maybe a good reminder too, Michael, that we'd love to continue to support our small businesses here and shop local. I imagine many of those businesses might be able to get onto the Illuminations map if they're going to be really going for gold in the Union Square holiday stroll competition as well.
Oh, we're definitely going to spread the word of the Illumination map as well. And yeah, definitely come out. I mean, our neighborhood is so diverse. You can find Portuguese, you can find Indian, Thai, Korean, all sorts of diverse cuisine all over the square.
Great. Anyone else? All right, guys, I want to thank you all for joining us today. We had a shorter meeting, but I think we covered a lot of great information. This video will be available on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find it on our website as well. So please feel free to share it with any folks who were not able to join us today. And if anyone has any questions for economic development, you can always reach us at economicdevelopment@somervillema.gov. And we look forward to hearing from you guys. And since we won't be able to connect until 2022, enjoy the holidays, have a great holiday, happy and safe one at that. And we'll reconvene in 2022. Thanks so much.
Take care, everyone.